Previously on Meerkat Manor. Long-term Whiskers leader Swift survived a snake bite, then a violent coup, to give birth to her 14th litter. Daisy's feisty gang, the Ubuntu, were building a reputation as the manor's most prolific land grabbers. And on Hakuna Matata's patch, heavily pregnant Flint Lockwood forcefully evicted her sister, Sencha. The hot, dry season in the Kalahari should now be giving way to a cooler, wet season. But year on year, weather becomes more variable and less reliable. Temperatures now hit over 40 degrees, 3 times more often than a decade ago. And today is one of those days. Finding some measure of respite in the shade now takes priority over everything, especially for the most vulnerable. Flint Lockwood, leader of the Hakuna Matata family, has had a bellyful of these entirely unpleasant conditions. In the exhausting late stages of pregnancy, she just wants to chill out in whatever shade is available. She's chosen a burrow with as much cover as can be found around here, and the family seems happy. Which is just as well, as they'll be staying here for at least a month, until the pups are old enough to move. Having lost her 2 previous litters, first to miscarriage, then predators, Flint is taking no chances with these pups. She's already made a few adjustments to the family. Sencha and Kajes have been booted out on the basis that females of breeding age can quickly become rivals who may kill the matriarch's pups to give their own a better start in life. Leadership entails making tough decisions at the right time. It's left the family feeling smaller than usual, although just as rambunctious. All Flint wants now is a bit of peace, shade, and absolutely no drama. Unfortunately, if you are looking for a quiet life in this corner of the desert, there's one character you really don't want to meet. Daisy. She's trouble with a capital T. Her unruly Ubuntu clan has a history of taking burrows by force. And they're heading towards Hakuna Matata territory. Daisy lost the last battle with Flint's family. Now she's focused on settling the score. clawing her way up the property ladder. Not averse to fighting dirty, the Ubuntu could be about to take poor pregnant Flint to the cleaners. Further south, the Whiskers are also struggling in the searing temperatures. Even their seemingly indestructible leader, Swift, has taken cover. But it's her elderly partner, Bria, who's feeling it most. At 11 years old, he's been both loyal and devoted to Swift for more than half a decade, and the power couple seem as strong today as ever. Bria's proudly fathered over 50 pups with Swift. Their latest, Floki, Ragnar, and Rollo, are now 7 weeks old. The boys are being weaned off milk, leaving them vulnerable to dehydration. Most of the moisture they need comes from their food, but the high temperatures are making foraging particularly hard for the youngsters. The resourceful trio are blatantly exploiting their pampered status in the family by blagging free food from the grown-ups. The trick is to gobble it down before anyone changes their mind. Little Floki picks a food fight with his older brother Miko, while Rollo targets Dad. Bria's normally a soft touch with the kids, but the extreme heat is making the old man grumpy. And now, even Swift wants to steal his lunch, which leads to a rare marital tiff. Bria decides he's had enough and heads off alone. Everyone just needs to cool down. While her partner takes a break, Swift remains focused on feeding the family. With few bugs venturing to the surface, they need to dig deeper for longer and cover a wider area. So there's no time to waste. Contact calls will keep the family together as they go. But Bria either hasn't heard the calls or has chosen to ignore them. Back at Hakuna Matata's nursery burrow, no one is going anywhere, and Flint is enjoying some rare relaxation time. Safe in the knowledge that self-appointed sentries, Sister Munchkin and partner Finnick are keeping a watchful eye out. They should be a safe pair of hands. It's Munchkin who first spots trouble. Intruders. The Ubuntu. Flint is now wide awake. A leader's instinct is always to defend her ground. But fighting in the midday sun when you're so close to giving birth is madness. Giving up her precious birthing Burrow would also be disastrous. The wrong decision now, and Flint could lose everything. But her ruthless rival Daisy has nothing to lose. And everything to gain. Both sides await the command to attack. Away from all the conflict on Whisker's territory, the manor's oldest resident, Bria, is still unaware that he's been left behind and is enjoying a bit of me time alone in the shade. Until another elderly gent turns up, looking to get out of the sun. And while it's nice to hang out with a fellow old-timer, it starts to dawn on Bria that his family is nowhere to be seen. A lone meerkat, especially an elderly one, is an easy target. Now some distance away, the rest of the Whiskers are about to confront a danger of their own. In seeking out a patch of shade, Bones makes an unpleasant discovery. A puff adder, one of the deadliest snakes in the Kalahari. The ambush predator is in no mood to move out of his shady corner. It's the perfect cover from which to grab a pup meal. So the Whiskers want it out. Their tactic is to intimidate and confuse the enemy. Their leader has a bad history with snakes. Once bitten, twice shy, Swift stays back. The pups are naturally curious. It's an opportunity to learn how to deal with snakes. So long as they don't get too close. Their father is an expert in mobbing snakes and would normally be leading the attack. But where is the old soldier? Finally, Swift realizes Bria is missing. Time to call off the mob and deal with the far more immediate problem: finding Dad. On Flint's land, tensions are at breaking point as the battle for the Hakuna Matata burrow heats up. When Flint decided to protect her pregnancy by evicting her sisters, she had no idea just how much she was going to need them. Down on numbers, she's in the weaker position. Decision time. In the end, it's Flint who leads the charge. She quickly has Daisy on the run. But it's not a full withdrawal. The Ubuntu turn and charge back at them. Now it's Hakuna Matata on the retreat. Daisy and her gang close the gap and beat them down. Flint watches helplessly from the sidelines. In her very pregnant state, she can't risk being attacked and is forced to stay at a safe distance. But what is an army without its leader? Hakuna Matata's coordination quickly falls apart. Facing certain defeat, Flint has no choice but to pull her family out of the fray. Daisy leads the Ubuntu on a victory lap of scent marking. As they lay claim to their new home. It's a bitter blow for Flint. She's lost her perfect nursery, and if she doesn't find a new burrow quickly, she could lose her third litter in a row. As the day draws on, Flint isn't the only one involved in a life-or-death search. Swift is desperate to find her precious partner, Bria. He's been missing all day in the blistering heat. The Whiskers head to a regular haunt for refreshment. Perhaps Bria has had the same idea. Leaky water pipes are a lifesaver in this relentless heat. But there's still no sign of Dad. Any hope of him appearing before nightfall is fading fast. But then, a glimpse of a lonely figure. Could it be? Yes. Bria has found his way back to his family. As the heat finally begins to relinquish its grip on the day, the relieved Whiskers head home, with Bria leading the way. And the Kalahari's most devoted couple are together once more. The day's adventures have taken their toll on the old boy. It's been a tiring day all round, but reunited, the Whiskers can relax in the knowledge that everyone has arrived home safely. Flint's family is still searching for a place to lay their heads for the night. Finding yourself homeless so close to giving birth would be stressful for any mother. So an apparently abandoned burrow is a welcome sight indeed. It will need a thorough check to ensure no nasty surprises are lurking underground. While the family conducts an investigation, shattered Flint waits up top. All clear. A few last-minute renovations, and finally, the exhausted mum-to-be can get her head down. As a new day dawns, Flint emerges, noticeably slimmer. She clearly gave birth overnight. But was it a successful birth? It's a worrying sign that Flint seems to be content to leave the burrow unattended. The absence of babysitters could be telling. But there is someone at the burrow. It's Flint's evicted sister, Sencha. Back after being cast out for posing a deadly threat to Flint's pups. So is her return an attempt to rejoin the family? Or does she have a more sinister motive?